Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round number 6 of the F4 Championship here in RSF1. And as you can see, we're around the not so beautiful Singapore as Source. RSF1 Source has already crashed. We're in Q2 already because there was no Q1. And Source is the first casualty of this awful track at times. And he is out. Midman has also crashed. And as you can see, Kachow goes top right now. Trick 2 Pines puts himself in P5. RSF1 Lincoln, the championship leader at the moment, trying his hardest and puts himself into P4. I don't have a championship table for you today, but Lincoln is 2 points ahead of RSF1 Millsy at the very top with 64 points, and Millsy's got 62. For next week, I'll have all the updated standings in the video and everything for you guys. But currently we do not have that. And as you can see, Millsy pushing really hard to try and set it up. And he extends and gets an invalidated lap time, which means he is out of qualifying here in Q2. And it's basically one up here for RSF1 Lincoln. He's got a good chance now to extend his championship lead over Millsy. And it's 1-0 to Lincoln essentially on the weekend. And as you can see, Pierre trying to improve now to put himself into Q3. He needs to do anything in his power just to get himself remotely close. And he's pushing so hard now. Coming into the final sector, the final few corners. As you can tell, I'm not talking as loud as I normally would. But it's because it's practically midnight as I'm recording this of the night of this race. Crazy times trying to get everything into the same day. As you can see, Pierre coming around the final few corners. Absolutely nailing it. Corner cut set. I don't know how he gets away with that. But he gets away with it and he goes up to P9 and he puts himself into Q3. Which means we lose Source, Millsy, Old Manzy, Immortal and Midman. Who is, I think he debuted in F3 last night and got demoted because they wasn't overly sure on his pace. But you can see now we jump straight into Q3. Button goes top with 36.997. And now you got Braver Container coming around the final few corners. Can he improve? Can he put himself up there? He cannot. He does a 41.039 at the moment. Now you've got Lincoln. Oh, Kachow, sorry. Kachow does a 36.707, putting himself on provisional pole. Buttons in P2 at the moment. And you can see Lincoln trying to get around and actually settle up here before the timer runs out. You've got... Who's that right behind him? I believe it's LA16 Ham, right up behind Lincoln. And they just about get across the line to start their laps. You can see Braver Container improves, puts himself up into P2. And now Lincoln coming around the final few corners. Can he gain some time? He takes exactly the same run that Pierre took in the previous session. And it invalidates him. There's no consistency in this game. And now we run you through the field for the race. You've got RSF1 Source in the AlphaTauri starting in last, or P15. Then RSF1 Millsy P14. In front of him, you've got Old Manzy in the Alfa Romeo. Then P12 Immortal, followed by P11 Midman, who's obviously been disqualified on the formation lap. Then the championship leader RSF1 Lincoln in P10, looking to improve on his qualifying. It didn't really work out for him, the invalidation. Then in front of him, you've got the Red Bull of Pierre B2611. Looking to do okay today. He's a normally front runner. Then you've got Trick 2 Pine starting in P8. TYG Rogue starting in P7 in the Ferrari car. Then LA16 Ham in P6. Looking to see what he can do off the line today. Then Fish Sticks P5, another disqualified guy of the formation lap. Then Cornet Star P4 in the only McLaren on the field in the grid today, sorry. And then you got Button P3 in the second Aston Martin car. P2 is belonging to the Alpine of Braver Container, who not normally at the front, normally near or thereabouts, but he's starting on the front row today. And in pole position, RSF1 Kachow, who did an incredible lap at the end of qualifying to beat everybody by 3 to 4 attempts. And he's in the Aston Martin car from pole position. Can he go on and win? We go to 5 red lights. And it's go, go, go here for the Singaporean Grand Prix in F4. And it looks like everybody gets a really decent start there. No problems behind. A couple cars going wide, but no issues. Kachal gets off the line amazingly. You see the Red Bull car has a little issue through the corner there. Lincoln has already passed his teammate Trixie Pines, but he's got fish sticks on the outside of him. They've made contact, and Lincoln's around. RSF1 Lincoln, your championship leader, is in the wall. And I think he's got away with no damage or limited damage at least. So Lincoln, not too bad. Yes, it's not ideal that he's been spun around at the start, but he's not a big fan of this circuit anyway. And no, he does get damage. He comes around and does pit at the end of the first lap. But also his teammate, Trick Two Pines, has also had damage, and Lincoln's lost the rest of his front wing. So that means both Mercedes are in the pit lane. Lincoln's had to double stack as well. There's crazy times here for the Mercedes cars. You can see TYG Rogue is doing okay. He's passed Pierre somewhere along on this lap. And now Cornet Star just behind Kachal with Braver Container there. LA16 Ham. And we cut on board now with Pierre, who's looking to make a move on TYG Rogue. Rogue moves to the right. He comes around the outside Pierre, and with the DRS assistance, nice easy overtake as Braver Container gets the first penalty of the race. Now we jump forward to Kachal. But we can see, look back, we look at LA16 hand going down the inside of Braver Container. Forces him slightly wide, makes the move. Braver's got nowhere to go, he should have backed out the corner. And Tiff is up another position. Tiff is what he likes to be called, so from now on we'll call him Tiff. So don't get confused when I say the word Tiff, because you can't read it on here. That is LA16 Ham. But he's made that move on Braver Container, and he's burning his ERS to stay in front on the straight with the DRS assistance for Braver. Now we look back, and you can see that Midgeman has spun and decided to leave the session. And I can inform you guys now, I did invite him back. He decided not to return to the session, so he rage quit after a spin, which is not a good look because he did it the day before as well. Needs to improve. Now you can see Button catching up with LA16 Ham now. There could be a battle on here for P3. Button lost his P3, I think, after he had a little disconnection. But everybody in this race and everyone around that's raced Singapore in RSF1 this week can tell you that the connection problems around this circuit have been horrendous. And I don't know why, because we don't normally have the problems. But there you are, TYG Rogue, penalty for multiple warnings, which is a bit frustrating because sometimes it isn't multiple warnings, is it really? Now you can see Button all over the back of LA16 Ham, looking to see if he can make a move, but I doubt he can yet. Now we jump forward to Pierre, and in the background, RSF1 Millsy, the championship contender, lost the back end and went careering into the wall. He's so lucky not to be out of this race, as Source pits for damage as well. Source lost his front wing, and Braver Container has retired in the pit lane. That's poor from Braver. Shouldn't be doing that. As Kachal gets disconnected, and we have to invite him back to see if he can get back into his car before he loses his lead. He had a 6-second lead, and now it's only down to 1 second. We're trying our best just to make sure he doesn't lose his lead here. We don't like to see people change position because of a disconnection. It's very frustrating because we've all been in this situation ourselves. And as you can see, Kachal jumps back into his car there. You can see the little jump, gets away with it, and he's currently still leading this race from Cornet Star. But now he's pitted somewhere along the line, and Cornet Star is the provisional leader, and Lincoln has spun. Lincoln's hit the wall. Another front wing change for Lincoln. Front wings are being gone through here like to the penny. We've got so many front wings that are needed to be spared around here. And as you can see, Pierre comes out the pit lane just beside TYG Rogue. These two cannot be separated today. They are so close to each other throughout this entire race. They've had contact, they've had an incident or two, but they just can't be separated. As you can see, Source is right in front of them both, just going along minding his own business. And now Rogue is just trying to close that gap. And now we jump forward to Kachal. Kachal is all over the back of Old Manzi. Old Manzi shouldn't fight this too hard. Kachal goes down the inside, DRS assistance, brakes a little bit later, makes the move, and he goes up into P2. And you can see Cornet Star, the guy that's battling Kachal for the race victory today, has spun and put it in the wall. That is awful news for Cornet Star. I don't know what he's done. Trick Two Pines is around again. That's about his 5th spin of the race so far. He's having a shocker. And now you can see we go on board with Kachow as he's catching up with Immortal to try and take the lead back after pitting down the inside. Immortal's not silly to fight that, and he just lets him go. And Kachow back into the race lead as Immortal and Old Manzi try a alternate strategy. Now Button all over the back of Old Manzi. Old Manzi's tyres are really second hand at this point, so are Immortal's, to be honest with you. But Button should be able to make a move on Old Manzi as soon as possible. He's been held behind him for this entire lap. And we're going into another lap where he's still stuck behind him. Button's got to make this move stick because he was quite close to Cornet Star before he caught up with Old Manzi. And now he's just stuck behind him. And here you go. He's going for the move now. Sector 1's got a yellow flag. He needs to try and make this move as quick as possible down the inside. Nice easy move. And he gets up a position. And you can see his Trick Two Pines has lost another front wing. More money out there for Mercedes. Unfortunate. And now he's finally retired. He's made a big mistake and crashed out on the bridge. Now we jump forward. LA16 Ham all over the back of Old Manzi. Can he make this move stick? Goes down the inside. Old Manzi decides to stay there. Tiny bit of contact brushed on the front wing, but he makes the move stick, and he is up another position. And you can see Pierre's around. Pierre, who was a leading contender at the start of this race, has gone backwards. Ironically, into a wall this time, and he's gone right to the back of the field as Cornet Star dives down the inside of Immortal. Immortal gets a penalty for just trying to avoid him, essentially. And we move on now to the next part. Cornet Star second now, Kachow first, Button third. We've just basically evened out how we were. Immortal, Source, Old Manzi all into the pits on the same lap here to try and change their tyres and go to the end, really. I think Immortal's gone to the medium tyres. Source has probably got more damage because, Source keeps losing his front wing. I don't know what's going on with Source today, but it just keeps losing his front wing. And now we see where Millsy has come out in front of Immortal. Big move for Millsy there. Old Manzi now down in 9th, Source 8th, Fishstick 7th, and Millsy has lost his front wing. I don't know where this has happened. We didn't catch it, but Millsy has no front wing. He was about to gain quite a significant amount of points on Lincoln before he did that. And now he's got no front wing, and he cleverly moves out the way here of Fishsticks and RSF1 Source. As Source, I believe, hits the back of Fishsticks, and now he's got some damage. So Source might pit again. He's lost his front end plate on the left-hand side. It's been a shocker for Source, and he's in the pit lane again. Millsy's coming in with him. As Old Manzi just takes those 2 free positions and says thank you very much and moves on. Lincoln. Where's Lincoln going to come out in comparison to his championship rival? He has jumped him by a mile. Lincoln's lost a lot of front wings in this race. Millsy has only lost, I think, 2, potentially. And now Kachow has had another disconnection. This is awful news for Kachow. He needs to get back in. He's losing hand, foot over finger here. He's in a bit of trouble. He joins back into the lobby nice and quickly. Can he get back into his car as soon as possible? Because Cornet Star is gaining massively. But Cornet Star's made a huge mistake. Cornet Star has hit the wall or spun out on the final corner. And Source is in the wall. Source is out on the final corner. And it brings out a safety car. Which could have gone better for Lincoln, because Lincoln could have pitted that lap and gained a load of time, but unfortunately for him, he was already around the final corner as Source obviously had to retire. So that's really bad. And a couple of these cars are risking pitting for the soft tyres. And it is a big risk because the game might not let you catch up, as Lincoln and Millsy are both in the pit lane, nearly a lap down, as the safety car is in this lap. And they're in safety cars in the final sector. These two are just coming out of the pits now, so they will not catch up with the safety car. For those two, it's probably a battle of going for the fastest lap. Will Button and Immortal catch up? It's going to be nip and tuck to whether those two can catch up. LA16 Ham has caught up. Button just about got there. And Immortal, I think, won't catch up, but he'll be in touching distance. But unfortunately for Immortal, no, he has not caught up. But we go now for a 2-lap sprint to the end. Kachow, Cornet Star both stayed out on the hard tyres. And then everybody else behind them, other than Rogue and Midgeman, who's an AI now, have pitted for the soft tyres. So if the field joined up together, this would have been a disaster for the leading two. But realistically, they can only lose a couple positions. Now you can see LA16 Ham's going to go for the move down the inside of Cornet Star. Makes the move. No, he doesn't. Cornet Star holds around the outside. LA16 Ham will not give up this position. He's still there. He's pushing as hard as he can. Trying to go around the outside. He is still fighting. Cornet Star's probably better to let him go here and not fight it too much. And he did try and fight it way too much. He spun around. And that is the end of Cornet Star's chances of winning this race. And he has done it to himself, really. Button, I don't know if he got any damage from that. That's why we're having a quick look. But I believe he got away with it. For LA16 Ham, has penalties. He has a 3-second time penalty. Kachal in front of him. He needs to pass Kachal and gain 3 seconds on him. And I don't know whether he can do it in 1 lap. If he can make the move down the inside here, he might have a chance. And he goes for it. Tiff down the inside. Forces Kachal slightly wide. Not too much. And makes the move stick. As Kachal has a moment off the corner. He's 20 lap old hard tyres at this point against 1 lap old softs. Now can Tiff pull out 3 seconds in this lap? I think is incredibly unlikely. But he's going to try his very best. As Old Manzi retires in the pit lane, or has he binned it on the final corner? I think he's crashed on the final corner. So my co-coms told me, the streaming account of Mr. Michael, used to be known as RSF1 Rubens. But yeah, we are watching Tiff currently just absolutely go out front as Button's held up by his teammate Kachal. I don't know what these two are doing, but if Kachal lets Button go, then Button could potentially win this race. I don't know if Kachal's going to win because his tyres are really second hand at this point. Button's looking to make a move. Hasn't gone for it yet. He's still sat in behind Kachal. As Immortal sitting pretty behind them, but he does have a couple penalties. But LA16 Ham, Tiff, is in the final sector now. He's up to 2.3. Can he do this? It's going to be very close. 2.4. And it jumps down again. It's 2.4. 2.5. It's going up by the corner. 2.6. 2.7. 2.8 now. Through the final corner. Can he do enough? 2.9. And it did not jump above, but it says he has won the race. But I think on countback, that'll be Kachal's win, and Tiff will get second, Button third, Immortal fourth, Cornet Star fifth, Rogue sixth, Fishstick seventh, Lincoln will get 8th place, or 9th place actually, because Millsy will beat him on penalties. And that is an insane race. We're just having a quick look at the incidents to see if whether the other two got penalties at the end there. And we figured out they didn't. So it's probably down to disconnects and problems like that. So I would guess that was part of the problem there. So everyone's times desynced. So I think that win will be Kachal's. Then Tiff will be second. Button third. And as Lincoln spins across the line, luckily slides across the line with 3 wheels on his wagon. And what a race. What a way to end it. Absolutely manic scenes. And Immortal gets Driver of the Day for the game. But obviously we do our vote on Driver of the Day on the RSF1 Twitter page. I think it's called RSF1 Racing, I believe. Don't count me on that. But as you can see, there's the winner celebrating. Well, the winner that the game's given. But I believe that will be Kachal's win. So an Aston Martin win with an Aston Martin in third. Tiff will get second. I hope you guys have enjoyed today's race. If you are new around here, subscribe for more. If you enjoyed this, leave a like. I've been Chris12LFC. And I will see you later.